Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I'm reviewing a piece from Kickstarter, but this one is a little bit different. This is from Draco and this is their birth into the watchmaking market. This is their first stamp on the environment itself. I absolutely love a vintage aesthetic dress piece, and that's exactly what this is. When I say it's a little bit different though, they're doing things differently. So one thing that people worry about on Kickstarter is the guarantee that they have from the watchmaker themselves. Well, Draco have done this a bit different. They've got a collection favorite guarantee, is what they're calling it. They're so confident in this watch that they are actually going to give a 90-day returns policy if this watch doesn't become one of your collection favorites. Now that is a confident move. And I can see why, because this watch is absolutely beautiful. It's available in a few different configurations. I'll go through them. They are the quartz two-hand quartz chronograph, the three-handed automatic, and the chronograph mechanical. Now the chronograph options come in at £135 and £225 respectively, and the mechanical options on the early bird come in at £310. This watch is already fully funded, so you can see why they're so confident in their piece. Make sure if you're interested in this, head down to the description, click that link to the Kickstarter and get yourself one. And while you're here, if you're interested in any pre-owned watches, well, I've got the website for you. TheWatchGuyStore.com is my personal resale site. I curate that entire collection. I post them, I take the pictures, I do the descriptions. It's all me. And I'd love for you to pick up a bargain on there. If you wanted 10% off, you can use the code JTWG10 and it'll get you 10% off your final price. Have a look, see if there's anything you fancy and grab yourself a bargain. Now with that out of the way and that shameless plug covered, let me turn this camera around and let's have a look at this Draco. This is the Draco Stella. This is available in two different configurations. We have the three-handed model, as you see in front of you, and we have the chronograph model, which is also available on the same Kickstarter page. This is what Draco consider to be their birth into the watchmaking market, and if this is a sign of what's to come from them, then I think they could be a very exciting brand to keep an eye on. This piece is available on the Kickstarter right now for £310. Obviously that price goes up towards retail. I believe that's about 40% off. That's with the Miyota 9039 packed into the back of it, or the same piece with a chronograph function with the ST1901 is the same price. If that appeals to you, definitely go and check the Kickstarter page below, because I know a lot of people love a good mechanical chronograph. Personally, I wanted to opt for this three-handed simple dress aesthetic piece because it really spoke to me. The simplicity to the idea of this watch. However, the design that's gone into it really makes it a standout piece for me. And I think you guys all agree. We'll start with the casing and the usual sizing. So it's 36mm in diameter. It comes in at a very wearable 12.1mm with that double dome crystal. 42.6mm lug to lug, which makes it excessively wearable and really does suit the 36mm profile. These lugs are 20mm lugs and will fit a plethora of bands. The one fitted to it today is an Epson leather band, and that's what you should expect if you back this piece. The casing itself is a very simple yet elegant casing, and that's exactly what you want in a dress watch. We have a simple pull push crown to the side here, as you can see, a hacking function, and we have no ghost date on this movement, which is nice to see. They've packed it with the correct movement. As we move to the rear of the watch, you can see we have a display case back on this piece with a modified rotor to the Miyota movement, which is nice to see. It shows that they have definitely thought through the design and executed very nicely. I do like the 9000 series Miyota movements. They are decorated enough for it to be a feature. However, that is all we have to the rear of this casing. The movements, it's a very simplistic screw down case back. Altogether, the watch is provided with 50 meters of water resistance. Throughout this piece, we have a fully high polished casing in 316L stainless steel. It's reflective. It looks like it'll catch the eye, and quite honestly, it does. It's a really good looking piece, and it does carry through that vintage design that Draco have gone for in this watch. As we move into the real feature of this watch, we have the dial. Now, I opted for the grey dial because I thought that really this was the standout of the lineup. There are fantastic salmon and blue options which look absolutely incredible. However, I think the ghost aspect to this dial and the Breguet numerals really stood out to me. I thought it was definitely something that you don't see every day on the market, and therefore that's my type of vibe. We have a leaf style handset on this piece, and it's finished in fully high polish stainless steel, which follows through to this pencil thin second hand, which is sweeping away at the dial. I did actually speak to Draco about the handset itself. They were asking if I thought a blued handset would match this piece better, but I think it may take away slightly from the dramatic effect of the grey dial and that ghost effect that you have to the elements of the piece. I think for me personally, I'd opt to keep the stainless steel effect. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. It definitely gave a nice idea to the lads at Draco also, and I think that's really what these reviews should be about. The double dome sapphire has 7 layers of anti-reflective coating, and I am very grateful for them because this is a beautiful dial and you want to see all of the aspects of it as much as you possibly can. We'll start with the effect to the sunburst center of this piece, as well as the sunburst effect to the outer measurements on that minute or second track. As you can see, really nice increments to that, and it gives a very meticulously measured effect to the outer edge of the dial. While the inside of the dial really does play to the vintage aesthetic that Draco have been so inspired by for this piece. We have a grainy sector which is cut away for the hour markings. That is a grainy section which really does complete the dial. I think that grain effect to the texture of the dial really does make this watch stand out, just as much so in the other models also. I think it really makes Draco stand out on the market. The Breguet numerals are fantastically finished, applied to the dial in a high polished stainless steel, and that's where you get this ghost effect to the dial. They almost fade into it in certain lights, and I think that's a really nice element to have to a piece. I think it really does play nicely with the light in certain environments, and I think that's definitely what Draco have gone for here. Up to 12 o'clock we have a simple Draco printed logo. The rest of the dial is completely sterile, and I think that again does play towards the vintage aesthetic, and it doesn't take away any of the elements to the piece. It's a beautiful, beautiful dial. Obviously no loom to this piece, and why would you need some for a dress aesthetic watch? This one is fitted to a leather Epsom band. Now, if you have a look on the Kickstarter campaign, you can see all the other options to this one. They have plenty of different coloured options. Quick release band here, and we have the Draco signed clasp. That's a nice little added feature, and I think that it really does draw in the entire design. Let me get this one on wrist and show you how it looks on my 6¼ inch wrist. It's an absolutely beautiful fit for me. This Draco on wrist really does just, see that? The way that it plays with the light there, the ghost effect to it. This dial is just absolutely beautiful, and they've captured something in that design, I think. I think they've really nailed this piece, and it's a popular one. It's already fully funded on Kickstarter, as I may have already mentioned. It's definitely one that you want to get in on the early bird before they sell out, because it's definitely one that you'll kick yourself for if you have to pay full price later down the road. I think this is going to be one of the more popular releases this year. Obviously, it doesn't go without its moans. I will get into them now. I have actually mentioned these to Draco themselves, and there are reasons behind the design aspects that I have chosen. Firstly, I think this crown's a little bit too small. They do agree with that, and they are looking at changing it up a little bit to make it easier to grasp if you have, you know, bigger hands like I do. Make it a little bit easier for us guys. One thing that I did mention to them is the lack of signature to the crown and the case back itself. No information around the case back. I thought that the sterile look wasn't the way to go. They argued that they wanted to keep the design simple and draw the attention to the actual display of the piece and the features to the watch. And I understand that. Personally, I wouldn't have gone that way, but I'm not the designer. I am simply a reviewer, a humble reviewer. As far as that goes, though, I think it's a beautiful watch. You're going to have to definitely take care of it, because it could be a scratch magnet with a high polish casing, but that's just the nature of the dress watch, I'm afraid. I think that this is definitely going to be a popular piece, and when they're delivered in March, I think that there's going to be a lot of people showing them off on their Instagram feeds and their Facebook posts. It's a beauty, it really is, and well done to Draco as an introduction to the watch market. This is a good one. Tell me what you think, guys. I think that Draco are off to a flyer, but your opinion is really the one that matters. Is this something that you can see yourself picking up on their Kickstarter campaign? I think it's going to be a breeze for them to enter into the market when they are designing pieces like this. If this is the first one, their first attempt, I'd love to see what they're going to be doing in a couple of years. Now, if you wanted to pick one of these up, make sure you do it now, because the Kickstarter is live and the early bird prices are there to be snapped up. Get down into that description, hit the link, and go and pick yourself one of these up. They will be delivered in March of next year. A nice little 2024 gift for yourself. Thank you for watching this one, guys. I really do appreciate it. Make sure if you're new to the channel to subscribe, hit that red button. I do really love to chat to you guys too, especially about the watches that I feature and the ones that you want to see on the channel. So go down into the comment section and leave me a comment. I will see you in the next one.